Hello, gamers! Welcome to episode 46 of Gamers Galaxy. I am WT, and today we are going to talk about all kinds of things related to Immutable and Immutable news, and Immutable games, and Immutable. But before we dive into that, how are you doing today, my friend Rubick?
Good, mate. Good. Had a good night's sleep, and it's early morning here recording, so I've got no excuses today. Last episode I was pretty tired, to be honest with you, and came across I felt. So today I'm feeling energetic, pumped, ready to go and share the news as you know with our followers.
Right. For some getting up early, you're up late, but today we got to flip the script. So hopefully we're going to be a little bit better on our game. We were very rusty, I'm gonna admit it, last time myself, but it had been 4 months or so since we did it, so that's gonna happen. But we're gonna kick off that rust, get into it, and right off the bat I want to shout out to Trove, one of our main sponsors that's been with us for a while. The revamp of their website and the ability to trade, buy, and sell has been massively upgraded, and we're super appreciative of them for sponsoring us and also enabling the Immutable community to buy, sell, and trade in a very user-friendly fashion. Any thoughts on Trove, Rubick?
Yeah, just thank them again for supplying us with a very small 0.5% of everything you buy. It's no extra cost to you. You just got to use the referral code in the show notes every week. So bookmark it, and anything you buy on Immutable, zkEVM or X, we'll get like 50 cents for every $100 you spend, which is not much, but it helps pay a few of the bills for us, with a little bit of cost to running this show. So thank you to those that help. And yes, Trove's awesome. It's definitely, it cuts out all the crap. It's only got the good games on it, and and all the games, but it doesn't have all the collections that aren't gaming and all the scam collections that are on all chains and like OpenSea. So you just you're safe with whatever you're buying on there.
Yeah, I when I put this up on my screen earlier, I had a little alert and I didn't even realize it, but I actually sold some stuff. We're going to talk about Space Nation later in the show, but I sold a free NFT that I got. I don't even know if I can bring it up here. I got this for free just for participating in the system, and I don't have time to play Space Station. It's a great game, it's just too much for me to get involved in, so I threw this up for sale, and of course it's not going to load, but I sold something I got for free for $91.45. So I was super happy to see that. And I'm getting a ton of loot crates as it is, and I just threw it up for the heck of it. I sold another one for $4.55. Got those for free. You can't playing it anyway, so super happy about that. Thank you, Space Nation. Thank you for the free stuff. Yeah, I'm playing Epic War every day. We're going to talk about more about them later, but before we get to that, they're permissionless. Their permissionless system now, where you had to get approval, go through all the restrictions to I think list whatever it is, NFTs, smart contracts, and a few other things. But now Immutable zkEVM is open to all developers, but I think there is a little caveat to where you need a whitelist or something. Can you explain that for me?
Yeah, so it's permissionless to send contracts onto the chain, but if you're dealing with the marketplaces and the order book, you have to utilize the operator whitelist. So it's just the guarantee that it's their way of guaranteeing what they're called when you make commissions and whatever they are go to the right people. So the creator fee, the marketplace fees, and the protocol fee of 2% to Immutable. So what it is. Well, ultimately, what this is doing is saying, instead of when you write a contract, instead of Immutable, previously before this, you had to send it to Immutable and go, this is the contract we want to be put onto the chain. Immutable would have to get a resource, put it onto reviewing that code like a security check, and then returning saying yay or nay. And then if it's a yay, they give them a whitelist that can be uploaded, which is very slow. As a developer, that would just literally every hour that you're stopped by something else, it's like 5 hours of really stopping, just by the nature of how writing code works. It's not just 1 hour wait, you know, like if you're waiting, your train of thought gets turned off, you go start working on something else. It takes 20 minutes to wind your when you're working at this levels of complexity, write a one line of code, you take 10-15 minutes, because you've got to get your brain in the right spot and work out where you're up to and get all that information going and go, okay, right. I'm making the right decision with this line of code here. And it's not just as simple as, like, you know, writing data entry where you just carry on where you left off. Some people might be able to do that. Some freaks of nature in this world, but not every dev. So,
right.
You know, so ultimately this is like a super, like, anyone at all wants to build on zkEVM can now just start building on it. But the only caveat is, if you're dealing with if you're a marketplace, you still need to get an operator whitelist. So you need to be an approved marketplace.
Okay.
Or it's just to do with the order book, not if you're just dealing with a contract, you know, something in your game, then, you know, something happens and you want it to be on chain, you know, a transaction on chain, then you don't need a whitelist, an operator whitelist. So just when you're dealing with the marketplace or the order book.
Yeah, so basically you've got like a door that was closed and you had to come up to it and get all the special permissions and all that, which could be a little bit restrictive, but they had to do it because they were hammering out the kinks. And then now the doors are wide open. It's a lot less restriction, but there is a guard at the door, and you got to talk to the guard a little bit just to make sure that everything's balanced and safe. And basically what it comes down to is more developers can get onto this way easier, which means more games coming to the platform, which means more games for the gamers. So huge step for them. It's just another line of progression in the progress for Immutable. So good stuff all around. And
there was a comment by one of the developers building on Immutable, and I said, someone commented in the thread that, why hasn't it always been free? And I said, because Immutable cares about their security.
Right.
And then one of the builders of a game on Immutable, like a prominent one, commented they don't care anymore, and went in a bit of a chain and he literally wrote out a hate mail, and made an accusation that was just so unfair. Like, he said that Immutable only doing this change because the transactions are dropping. Now, if you remember, we've done this podcast for a long time. They've always stated that they're going to open the chain up to everyone eventually. Right. Do you remember that? I remember that. Yeah.
Well, it makes sense though. It makes sense because you can't just rush this stuff out because you don't know what's going to happen. It's the wild west, and you gotta hammer out the kinks, make sure everything's safe, then you open it up. It's just, you just can't rush into this stuff. It's there's too much money on the line. There's too much danger, so Immutable's doing the right steps in the way they need to do it. So I like what they did. Now they're going to make it more accessible, user-friendly for the developers, which translates into more games for the gamers. And you can't argue against that. So
there's one other thing that's happened, though. Like, we used to be able to move our GGXE token around, and now we can't. So there's absolutely no way for me to send my GGXE token anywhere on Immutable at the moment. So they've really locked down. With this change, they've locked down things like unknown tokens and things like that. So
okay.
I've wrote a request into them saying, how do I move my token now that and what it's for, and how it's just gamification, and it's not, we don't sell it, and it's just but we just send it to people as a gamification tool, and I'm waiting on a response from them. But anyway, I think that's part of the, like, security with it being open. It's definitely open to more hacks now, and more. You're going to hear something soon. Someone's game gets hacked and that. But Immutable's spent the last 6 months tightening it up, you know, and making it as hard as possible to do that, and there's less impact to the broader space if it happens. Every chain has had a hack on an individual game. Every single chain, if they're open like this. So. We might see the first one from Immutable eventually now that it's open like this.
Right. This is not necessarily Immutable news, but it's been everywhere in the Web3 space. Off the grid, an absolute blockbuster in this space right now. Lots of debate going on about it. Nobody's debating about the playability and the major influencers that are getting involved with it, which is bringing lots of attention, which is absolutely great for this space. But I know I've got up on the screen here this psychout.ron, and I know you've got some thoughts about this in regards to his opinion on what is going on off the grid, and where are you at on that, Rubick?
So that was like the final part of my point on this. So I just think off the grid is that moment that we've all been waiting for in Web3, and AVAX is going to benefit from it the most by a million miles. They're going to have so many games want to go to them now because, well, one game had a success there, so we're going to have success there as well. You know, they all do that. So
and real quick, not to cut you
Yeah.
off here, but real quick, we have said forever that our number one concern about Immutable's competition was not Ronin, Solana, or any of those guys, but AVAX. So yeah, go ahead, continue.
We were right, mate. We all four of us. I'm trying to find the sheet. I can't find it again. I saw it the other day, but where we recorded all the predictions for the year, and so we can go over it at the end of the year again. But I did see it when I looked at it. All four of us that did that show predicted AVAX is the biggest threat to Immutable, and we were 100% right, weren't we, on that one? So, but the point is, it shows that if you do it right, you know, like, you can have success, and because they're having success even though they're not paying anyone anymore. So that's the biggest thing that's I wanted to talk about. Like, yes, they paid heaps of people. They got the name out there. Lots of those, like Tin the Tapman, who's huge. He says it's his number one game now. He loves it so much. So it's a really fun game, and it's done it right. It's done it where you don't know that you're on a blockchain game unless you really start to look into it. So you can play it completely without being involved in it, and that was the only way we're ever going to crack into Web 2 gamers. You were never going to make someone have to create a wallet. That's why we were such
100%.
big supporters of Immutable.
100%.
You know why Passport was, like, you know, the gas free, paying gas as well. They're not going to buy a token and pay gas. They're just not going to do that, man. You know, so you will do that once you get someone like me and you who were gamers to go, you know what, this is a right idea, and then I'll buy a token. Like I would never have bought a token if I didn't know about Dogecoin. I got invited into crypto because of Dogecoin, you know, like because Elon Musk had to buy it. So, and therefore I was opened up to using it because, you know, I made 10 grand in a couple of weeks. And so, you know, like I was like, oh, this thing's all right, this space, you know. So, you know, the thing about the key points off the grid is it is Web3 game. If you want to use it as a Web3 game, you can fully use it as a Web3 game. It will, and eventually it'll have the full ecosystem available to it, like a token, all that kind of stuff, the validators and marketplace where you can trade between players and things like that, or your NFT skins, and maybe a token that you can earn by playing the game as well. Who knows? But they're just going to do it slowly. And I just think that it's created, what it will do is when the game's other big studios, we've said this for years, when the other big studios see, if this continues to get bigger and grow and the game gets out to everyone and it stays like a Fortnite style game for a long time and they make a lot of money, the biggest catalyst is that other studios are going to go, hang on a second, look at the way they did it, look at the benefit to the players and look at the benefit to us, because players stay here because they're earning, you know, they're owning their stuff and they feel more attached because they own their stuff. And you know, so I'm just excited and really happy for if there was going to be someone to be other than Immutable win, I wanted it to be AVAX, to be honest with you, because I just like Coop so much. He's such a cool guy. He's definitely the coolest guy in Web3 in my opinion, and you know, shout out to him.
What's your the psych out post here? What's your quick thoughts on it?
Just the typical, isn't it, mate? They can't just go, you know, whenever the competition wins, they just can't go, you know what, hats off, well done.
Right.
Thanks for opening up the space to everyone. There has to be the jab. There has to be the cope. They're just idiots, mate. He's just an absolute moron, this guy. Like, he's just so salty and sour. I just can't stand him.
I didn't really, a lot of his posts I agreed with, and I didn't really think he was a complete moron. He had some very intelligent thoughts on this, but I felt like the tone was, well, they're not doing it the way Ronin would do it, and we expect more, you know, play to earn, Ponzi scheme-ish thing, which is what they're known for doing, and that is not going to make it. We have talked about this relentlessly for forever, that script is not going to make it to get into the billions of players market share that is in Web 2, and we finally got a game. They're technically not even broken into mainstream yet, but they're the closest one yet by far. And yes, they are technically a Web3 game, but they don't have the Web3 elements that Ronin wants to have. But we have to get our foot in the door at some point. So this has been the closest thing that we have had in years. So yeah, we should all celebrate this. Like, hey, we're pushing the needle forward somewhere, instead of relying on the old pass, which clearly isn't going to work for the mainstream. So yeah, he definitely had some shade towards it. In general, most of his posts was pretty good, but definitely some shade. Wants to hang on to the old ways, which we both know isn't going to work. Any quick thoughts on that? What I just said?
Yeah, agree with you. I don't think I disagree on that. He's often not like this. He's often like this, especially when it's against Immutable. He's had a few digs at Immutable as well, and I don't follow him, so I don't know what he writes most of the time. I just saw this there, and but I'll talk about Ronan as well. It relates to what you just said about the Ponzi scheme and how a prediction I made, but that's in different years. We'll talk about it later on.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So we're up to new games. Are we building on Immutable?
Yeah, these ones are announced. Immutable announced. Yeah, I'm going to be starting off here. So like, I cracked up laughing. I'm sorry if I got this wrong, but I didn't know if this was Dirtverse or Doctorverse. I don't know how to pronounce this. DRKVRS. I'm just having fun with it. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. Do you know what the pronunciation is?
Dr. Kivers.
Dr. Kivers? Really? I don't know. It could be. I'm not sure.
No, who knows? You know what they're trying to do? They're trying to have verse in their name without spelling it verse.
They must have listened to us. They heard us ranting about the over abuse of the word verse and metaverse, all that stuff. So I'm just gonna go Dirtverse. Dirtverse. Anyway, they got 27, almost 28,000 followers on X. Action RPG shooter, third person, exploration / shooter. A lot of thoughts to say about this game. I'm sorry, what's that?
Video? Does it have video we can look at?
Yeah.
Some
stuff here in a second.
Got ads. Here we go.
Yep. So, I want to kick in. They
working on it to improve visuals.
No, that's not the one I want. They had some background score in their Twitter page, or X page. Sorry, it reminded me of kind of like some eerie, kind of Halloweenish kind of music. Maybe like gosh, what's the name of the thing? I can't think of it. I'll get back to it. But anyway, I like the background score they had. They have a sin token. There's something about a prisoner's dilemma. I don't know if the setting is like in a prison or something like that. It looks like this is not complete, the video that we're watching here, but you can allegedly play, you can team up with people for PvE and or PvP. So I like that aspect of it. Main thing that I didn't like, but I want to. There was something I didn't like in their FAQ section. I'll get to that in a second, but I want to show some other gameplay here real quick before I shift over to that. It's the 2:15 mark roughly. The graphics on this look actually really, really good, and I was rather impressed. You're gonna see this gore on the ground and stuff like that. Give it a second here as it kicks in. So right there.
You like the graphics?
Yeah, I like the graphics. The gameplay, from what I can tell, seems smooth. Third-person shooter. And there's another section at 323, so let me skip up to that. 323 caught my eye. Let me get up to there. Like this. Nice. This right here. I like this. This looks pretty cool. It reminded me... Okay, I got it. It reminded me of Stranger Things. The setting, the motif, and the background music on their X page. It gave me the Stranger Things vibe. Have you seen that program? Or that show?
Yeah, of course.
Yep.
Yeah, I think everyone did.
That's what it reminded me of when I'm doing this.
This video is really early days as well. Like it's going to be way more polished than this. So yeah, it's exciting. Could be a good one. Like people love this theme, this dark theme, don't they?
Yeah. So here, I want to get to the FAQ section real quick. So this is their main website here. The FAQ section, I got a problem with, and I'll tell you when I second it. Oh, where's it at? Let me grab this over here. Apologies. Where's the FAQ? There. Multiplayer action RPG game developed by Alpha Zero. So clearly they run another chain. Now they're coming to Immutable. Boy, how many times have we seen that? So yeah, we won't beat that to death. Brutalist world that has been swallowed by a billion-year-old Leviathan. That's kind of cool. I like that. Where's the part that I had an issue with here? Oh, here it is, right here. This right here. Are players able to earn in the game? Okay, so this is a Web3 game. All right. Our game will not be played to earn. Okay. All right. Fine. However, it will still be possible at some stages of the game to earn tokens. You just told me it wasn't play to earn, but now you're telling me at some point it will be. So it's a little bit of a conflicting message. So what are you doing? And, like, I'd rather you commit to something instead of be on the fence like this. I don't like that. But in general,
I think the play to earn comment is like Ponzi. It's associated with Ponzi schemes that fail. Like when you think of play to earn, I think you think of Ronin. You know, like you think of the games that they build that eventually all collapse. Even their big game Pexels is collapsing across the place. So it's you know, I understand what they don't want to say, oh, we're play to earn, but you will be able to earn tokens in the game. So it's like saying you're not going to earn a lot of money, but you'll be able to make a few tokens here and there. But it's not going to be the defining reason for you're going to play our game. I think they should just say that. You might be able to earn tokens in this game at certain stages, but that's not the defining reason why you'd play our game. That's what I'd say.
In general, though,
they've written it. It sounds very conflictual. I agree.
In general, though, like, I'm actually pumped for this game. I like the setting. I like the motif. It looks clean, man. It looks clean. I'm gonna give this a 75 for looking forward to this. I want to watch this game and see what happens. I don't like that they're doing the multi-chain thing and coming along to Immutable now when they should have did it at the beginning. But you know, we're used to it. You know, so.
Well, have you heard? I looked up that chain Alpha Zero. I'm like, what the hell is it? Another one, another chain. Like, what the? I've never heard of it before. So
right.
You know, they're still affiliated with them. Are they built by them? Are they using Immutable to get like us speak about them?
Right.
You know, how many times do we see that? You know, Astronova and Fractal Monsters and all these games that just can't build a community on their other unknown chain that no one uses, and they go, we're going to launch an Immutable, and then they try and drag players over, and it works.
Yep.
You know, so
yeah.
So they continue to do it.
Yeah, and that is Derverse or Doctorverse, whatever. But anyway, we're moving along to iBasketball Manager 3. I have a quick comment about this once you're done, but you are taking up this section for us right now.
It's just a basketball management game. So it's built by a Spanish company, Uplay, that built the same company that made Soccer 3, the Striker Manager 3. That's been out of Immutable for a while, but yeah, it's you know, you build a land and you can build your stadium and build your world on it, and you know, play a basketball match, set strategies and stuff in the game, and what style of gameplay you want to basketball gameplay you want to set your team to play. So just a typical manager game, but it's made by proper professionals that they've been making these type of games for a long time. They're very complicated to understand for me because I don't play these type of games.
Okay, I'm not crazy then. When I'm looking at this, I was like, I could have sworn this is the soccer game that we've talked about in the past, but basketball. And I was like, I have to mention this because it looked like an exact same copy of what we've seen before, but soccer. So yeah, thanks for clearing that up for me.
It is. It's made by the same company Uplay.
How pumped for you are this?
50%. I think people that like these kind of management games will like it. Surprised there's not more Americans speaking about it, to be honest with you, because it's like I don't know of any other basketball management games out there.
So I'm not necessarily pumped for this because I don't have the time to play it because it's very time intensive for management, and I have other things to manage in my life, like podcasts, like we're doing right now, and other things amongst my life. But like, I could totally see this being incorporated into fantasy football, fantasy basketball, fantasy soccer. That is huge in the gambling world. So I could totally see this being incorporated into that. So that would definitely interest me. But like, just to play it as a game, I'm like 10% maybe. But like, if they incorporate this to the gambling world, okay, now you got my interest. Now I'm 100% interested. So it'd be interesting if this gets switched over at some point to something like that. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's just I don't know. These guys are about gambling. They're passionate. I've met the team before. They're passionate sports people about the actual sports themselves and being involved. They're not gamblers, but I get what you're saying. Australian Americans like to gamble a lot more than Europeans.
Yep,
that's for sure. For
sure. And yeah, that was iBasketball Manager 3. And we only had 2 in the announced. That's a little light for us this week, but we're moving on to self-announced. This is where the games tie themselves into Immutable instead of Immutable come out and tying them to them. This one actually looks pretty interested, and you're going to talk about it. Block Trucks.
Yeah, I didn't do too much research on it. It looks quite simple racing game. Obviously, from you can see the video. I'm just a bit disappointed with the physics. Like, if you do a massive jump like that right now, when you land, you should bounce a lot. You know,
Right.
and they don't bounce a lot. So, you know, this one here, bang, you just still like stay on the ground after you you know, you land. But look, it looks pretty good graphics wise. It's you know, a racing game on Immutable. Will it be the first one after 50,000 have announced on Immutable and none of them actually launched yet? So, you know, like, it'd be good to have a racing game on Immutable actually land on Immutable. So let's go Block Trucks. I'm pretty pumped for it. I like, if it's casual and I can play it for 10 minutes here and there with, you know, our lifestyle being very busy now. That'd be nice.
Did you see?
They do look cool.
Is this mobile? Did you see that? If it's mobile or not?
I don't think it was. No.
Yeah. Oh, if it's not mobile, that hurts me. That hurts.
I might be wrong. I didn't look into it, honestly. I didn't look in that far. No, it didn't. I think it's PC, mate.
Yeah.
But we can write it in the show notes.
Right.
If it's, when we find it.
Cool. Squad, I'm gonna take this one. It is on Android at the moment. They do have plans to get on Apple, but at the moment it's on Android, so I can't play it because I have Apple, and Rubick was probably cringing because I said that. He tells me all the time, get off Apple. It is a third-person shooter with heroes and robots. This one, man, I got some stuff to say about this, but let me get through the other stuff. They have 3 game modes: team deathmatch, control point, which is basically, like, you know, you're trying to hold a point for as long as you can to rack up points. And then they have robot wars, where you're not using your human characters, you can only use robots. The robots are completely customizable, and boy, when I looked at this, so let me flip my screen real quick. It's a very almost like cartoon-like, I don't want to say Overwatch, but the graphics remind me of Overwatch, but the mechanics and what they're doing, it reminds me of Dark Machine. You've got your standard heroes, and you can upgrade into bots that are completely customizable. The whole entire time I'm researching, going through this setting, that is how I felt. They have a Mad coin. I don't even know what's out yet, but that's going to be their coin. And I felt like this is what Dark Machine was doing. Honestly, when I looked through it, I was like, wonder what Dark Machine thinks about this. But, you know, there's their white paper. Love this part. It is the first and one of the most exciting shooter games. No, you're not. You are not the first. You're whatever. Okay, I get it. Using blockchain technology, where heroes and robots get to complete off Dark Machine. Hello. Okay, so anyway, yeah, I'm interested. I'm interested. I want to see where it goes. They don't have many followers, but it looks promising. Here's a little video of it. Any quick thoughts on this?
Yeah, I don't think Dark Machine's got much to worry about this game, to be honest with you.
It's more cartoony. It's more cartoony than Dark Machine by far.
And Dark Machine's got destructible environments. It's got, you know, like full on 100 different places you can upgrade your robot on. It's built by absolute legends of gaming, have built amazing games before, and have the backing of Tencent and an unlimited budget. So yeah, I think this is going to be a fun one, but saying it's going to compete with them, Dark Machine, I don't think so. But we'll see.
Yep. And next up, we got another self-announced, another third-person shooter. Not the first. They're not claiming that, at least. Rubick, what do you got to say about Asilium?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. A very big, ambitious game, you know, with heaps of different modes of gameplay. It's like a real-world kind of setting where zombies have taken over the world, and you can choose any path you want to go down, the battle or farming or mining and things like that. So you can, all different modes of gameplay that you need to contribute to stay alive. Survival horror kind of MMO, which is, this is the second one. They built one before. I tried to find out where, if it's still going. I don't think it is. So this is actually Asilium 2. So it looks like they're just maybe going to change their Asilium 1 into, you know, into a Web3 game. Yeah, and I like the graphics. I downloaded and installed it. I just like the 2000s like graphics more than the the plastic, Lumen Unreal Engine 5 look. I like that more cartoony style, realistic cartoony style. I really like that style. It'll work on more machines, so it'll be open to more players, and that will give it more chance. And I just like that graphics you're seeing right now, like on the screen. It's got a chance. It's going to be it's a saturated market. When are they going to get this massive, ambitious game out? Depends on how much is already built and how much they're using from the first game, and versus is it a brand new or fully brand new game or not? Couldn't find that. So, if it's fully, we're finding out through Raven Quest that if you release an MMO that's look at pixels. It was half done, not even half done, and it's lost so many plays to Raven Quest because Raven Quest is completely full feature complete.
Right.
So if these guys release the game in those little bit parts, I think it'll fail hard. If they wait until they get the full game out in one and then go, here you go, here's the game, and you can do anything, then that's when I think they'll have success.
I'm actually watching this gameplay. I'm actually really interested in this. It looks gritty. And I like that. Obviously, I haven't played it yet, so I can't say for sure. But when I first looked at this, I didn't have really interest. But now that I'm sitting here watching it and listening to you talk, this has definitely got my interest peaked for sure. We're gonna have to keep an eye on this one.
It's not just shooting as well. Like, you've got to manage resources. You've got to there's so many different angles to the game. It's not just shooting. So that's what I like about it.
I'm assuming
you're not just out there.
Sorry, go ahead.
You're assuming what?
I'm assuming this is desktop, right?
Yeah, of course. It'd be this kind of game.
Yeah.
But it could be on mobile these days, I guess. But there's so much you can do on mobiles now, like this, with the new devices. But yeah, it's it's more than just get out there and shoot people and that's it. Like, you've got to. That's what I think. There's depth to it, so the economy will be able to be robust, because you need to have food, you need to generate food, you need to build shelter, you need to build protection.
Oh wow.
You need to make bullets. Like, it's a whole entire world that exists, and you're living in this world, and you're going to try and survive against zombies and other gangs. So it could be a really good one if they get it right. If it's as deep as it needs to be to keep people interested, then this is a real dark horse of a game in the Web3 world, in my opinion. I'm pretty pumped for it. I want to give it a go. 80%.
Oh wow, yeah, it definitely has an interest peak, but listening to what you said, it sounds very time intensive, which is a tough one for me. But definitely can see the potential of this for sure. I wonder how they'll tie Web3 into it. That'll be another interesting aspect of how they do that. So yeah, we normally don't spend this much time in the game, but this one peaked. To you, Asilium, I hope it works out for you, and I definitely want to watch you and keep my eye. Move on. This next one, Qubit. Right off the bat, my thoughts immediately. But we already have Minecraft for Web3, which is called the Sandbox game. I think they don't have many followers. No, 2,800 followers. I don't know what they're going to bring to the table that is going to be different from the Sandbox game. But the Sandbox game is like a social platform, an actual game, a real deal play and earn concept that they have going on. But for Qubix, is it Qubix? Yeah, Qubix. It's a battle royale where your creatures battle it out, and I could not really find. We'll get this screen, but there wasn't much info in other gameplay of what there is besides PvP, and I just don't know what their PvE looks like. If there's gonna be quests, there's quests made up and real deal things going on in the Sandbox game. So what are they gonna do that's gonna be different from the Sandbox game? Was my first takeaway, but it's definitely like Minecraft, and I really don't have much more to say about them than that. So any thoughts on them?
Yeah, I think they only had 1,500 followers just the other day when I first found them. So they've grown enough. They announced Immutable. You can see the old Altura next to Immutable there again. So there's seeing a fair bit more of that lately. Have you not noticed?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I think Altura and zkEVM are going to be making an announcement soon that they're building building together. So if Altura wins a game, they can build on. Well, I've already said it last week. You can build an Altura on a Polygon zkEVM. So Altura uses that chain, the multi-chain. You know, they don't have their own chain as far as I know. They use other chains. So maybe they've just opened up the zkEVM as well, and this is another one that's going to do that. But in terms of the game, it's just like I've never been into Minecraft, but it seems like a UGC world, mate. So you go around, collect resources, and build whatever you want, just like Minecraft. So
Right.
where like sandbox game, but you don't have to. I guess do you have to own your own land in this? I'm not sure. I didn't actually do a lot of research on it either. It's not my style of game, so I didn't. Yeah, I like the upgraded graphics to it though. I like Minecraft. I don't like it because of the graphics. I do like certain graphics, and Minecraft's just ruined it for me. So.
That's hilarious, and it's gonna be funny for Altura, and now they'll be back in the kind of funny, but yeah, that was Qubit, and next up, I believe you're handling this one, Lastmeta, or is that me?
No issue.
Oh, okay,
but it's all right.
All right, yeah, Lastmeta. Oh, yep, you're right. Okay, right off the bat, I know it's 38,000 followers. That's leaderboards that I did see, and honestly, there's really not much to say this one. It's a metric-based AAA. I'm curious why they're calling it a AAA. Where are they getting the authorization to call it AAA? But they're saying it metric-based AAA social poker metaverse. So I'm assuming, because I can't find much on it, that there's some form of gambling that's going to be involved with this. There's the leaderboards right there. I believe they were on the Magic Eden and some of their X posts. Soon to be on iOS, Android, and if they can tie it into gambling is absolutely huge across the globe, but there's regulations involved. So what are they doing here? It's clearly something to do with social platforms and gambling, in my opinion. How are they going to tie that in? How are they legally going to get away with it? And I don't have much more information than that on this one.
Well, their Lastmeta is Spanish, so they're not beholden to American regulations. But to be able to use it in those countries, they'll have to meet certain regulations, right. And maybe they just do what most things are doing these days and go, America, screw you. So and just in bypassing, like Immutable does with everything they do.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I get that.
Yeah, and the gambling is poker. It looks like they're trying to do the Ready Player Me sort of style thing, like the movie where you can be any avatar and walk around and go play poker and stuff like that, and tournaments and stuff in a real life setting sort of thing. You look at all the characters that are all weird or normal or whatever you want it to be sort of thing. So that like a poker universe gambling universe inspired by Ready Player Me, where your avatar can be anything you want, and they'll be able to just put in a whole economy around around collecting those avatars and things like that. So interesting. They've announced about 10 games this week, so if they end up coming to Immutable, it'll be interesting. So 10 chains. I know I'm just being exaggerating, but another one of those the games that just announced multiple chains. So
gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep, that was Lastmeta, and coming up next is the rumor mill. This is things that Rubick scours the Web3 interwebs for and comes up with things that could be coming in Immutable. And first off, we have Beneath the Six. Tell us about that, Rubick.
Well, Beneath the Six, I went into their Discord actually and had a real long conversation. I'm not sure they're actually going to even build on Web3. I think Immutable, I was given a hint that they're building on Immutable, but that information wasn't like right now. It was like they were at some stage building on Immutable. So, and lately it looks like they've taken a step, like a fear of, they mentioned degens and the crypto bros sort of thing in our conversation. And so I just said, they said they haven't decided if they're coming to Web3 yet. So, and then when I asked about Immutable, they never responded about that part. So who knows, but I like the game. I hope they do come to Immutable or any game, Web3 game. I even said to them, I might even play it if it's not. I just love hex-based games, the strategical side of hex-based games.
Yeah, is this Shardbound-ish, or am I wrong on that?
Yeah, it's like that, but it's not a TCG. It's like you get a character, an RP. It's like an adventure.
Okay.
And you strategize on your movements on the map, and it's not just like it's like a universe, not just a one single 2 minute, 3 minute turn. You can. I didn't look into it enough to know if it's like this is the zone you got to conquer, and then once you beat that, you got to on to the next zone, or if it's one big whole seamless universe that you go from left to right on, sort of thing, you know. So, but strategical adventure RPG style hex-based game, it's just so many people like this style of game, but there's just hardly any of them. It's so underserved. So I think if they come to Web3, they'll blow up hard. And I put the case in for why, and they sort of like said, where after that, when I first said I'm into like Web3 and owning my stuff and earning my stuff, they kind of like had a go at me, like, we're not about earning. And I said, where did I say earning like tokens? I said earn the things, the NFTs that I play
right,
and earn in the game.
Gotcha.
So I can't, I can't stand Web3 most of the time myself, but I think we should be allowed to own our items. And that's why I support Immutable. And so that's what their mission is. Their mission isn't to make people own means. Their mission is to make people own their items in game. So yeah, we'll see if I might be wrong with this one. It's a hunch. It's a piece of information I got that was unequivocal that it was, but now after speaking to them, I don't think they've made any decision. And it looks like an indie developer, not many developers building it. So we'll see. I think you can play it soon too. So I'm going to give it a go, and we'll come back to it after we play it one day. And
definitely keep an eye on it. They do need some more volume though. Only 1,000 followers. That's a little concerning. And heck, if you only got 1,000 followers, come over to Web3. I guarantee you'll get more, especially on the Immutable platform. Next rumor we got come up. We talked about this last week. 77-bit. Do you have some new information on this one?
Yeah, man. The hint was that it was like, because the token guys from Immutable, that there was a feeling that it was going to be. So, it's the founder wrote base in a tweet about 24 hours after our pod went live. So, did someone say something to him about what we said in our podcast? Very unlikely, but like, so maybe they're going to base. They haven't announced the chain yet, so I'm going to take that off the rumor mill. They're no longer being tracked for Immutable. I don't think they're coming to Immutable.
Yeah, they got a lot of followers, but like, people go to base and then come back. I won't mention any names. Wag me. Anyway, yeah, moving along. Yeah, those are our only two rumors, so we'll keep it rolling here. These are games that it came out on the 11th of this month of October. iBasket, we talked about earlier. Yeah, anything more you want to say about this, or?
No, just you can play it now. It was announced when it was that's the way I want Web3 games to announce that they're building on a chain. We're building on Immutable, and you can play it today. We're out. Maybe a week before it comes out, but not this 2-3 years before a game comes out. Announcing chains and stuff is just retardio.
Yeah, we know what they're doing there. So, and you got the next one coming up, Heroes Defense. I've seen you talk about this one a lot in our Discord.
Yeah, I mentioned it recently because it got announced. That, again, very short period between it being announced on Immutable and being out. I played the Web 2 version of it just when I saw it announced on Immutable, and then about a week or two later it came out Web 3. It's kind of a very similar game to GOG, but way more strategy, less, not hugely strategical. It's like a tower defense game where you have heroes like GOG and you place them on the map in strategic positions based on paths that monsters will take. You got to look at the paths the monsters could take, and then you place your heroes on the map that do have different skills, and you got to try and stop them from getting through to that crystal, that blue thing on the left there. They come out of the reds. And it increases in difficulty over time, and and I thought it was easy when I first played a Web 2, and then I went back to play the Web 3 version now because it's part of the Gems quest, I believe. Is it? I don't know. There's a play to earn right now, so I just thought I'd play it every now and again, and I played it. If you log in every day, you get heaps, you get more rewards. So I've just been playing it. Mm-hmm. It's just similar to GOG feeling, but it's a little bit more strategy. It's auto battler, but you can choose ultimates and position of where they stand.
That hurts me to hear that, and you know why.
Why?
Why? Because we know. I'm not gonna go into it.
We know what? I don't know. You lost me.
Well, you're like, oh, this is similar to GOG, but I felt like better.
It's not better. It's like GOG feels more like better graphics, feels more immersive. Like the battle, the monsters are way more exciting. The graphics are better, and so I like playing GOG. I play both. I play GOG more. I mean, definitely more. But this one just like I would like in GOG you to be able to position your heroes on a map like for each battle.
Yeah.
In that not just the 5 set spots, like the five anywhere on the map you can choose where they go, and that's part of the strategy. And that's what it's missing for me. There's no strategy. It's just put your tanks in front, the big guys in the big damage dealers in the back, and push your ultimates as they come available.
Yep.
That's pretty much what the game is. But I know there's more to it than that in GOG, but it doesn't fit. Like I don't have the energy to learn all that extra stuff. That isn't obvious.
Right. So here the defense came out on the 15th of this month, and we're already talking about GOG, so we're gonna just transition right into it here. Frostmire is out for GOG. Came out on the 16th. So like to piggyback off what we were just talking about here, I love Guild of Guardians. I've been part of Guild of Guardians since the very first day that it's been out, and I love them to death. I love the team. I love the community, obviously, but like. It's just mindless clicking for me at this point. It is literally just mindless clicking for me, and I just gotta be real about it. Now that being said, Frostmire, the graphics have definitely improved. The monsters that we're fighting, they definitely have put some polish on it to where it feels different compared to the original ones, and they're making progress, which is what we want. But I just feel like I'm mindless clicking, and I'm logging in every day, performing my tasks just to do the tasks. I don't feel engaged like Chris has always said that the game has to have. I just don't feel engaged at all whatsoever, and I hate to be critical of it because I absolutely love this project. I love the community, but like I just gotta be real going forward. I feel like I'm mindless clicking and just doing it just to do it. I don't have any engagement factor anymore. So that's. Well, I hate to be negative Nancy. I hate to be it, but like the Frostmire, the graphics do look better, and they have made some different other quality of life changes that I like. So hats off to them for that. I'm gonna give them credit where credit is due.
I like the boss battle now with part of the guild, and I'm winning it. I'm the best. That tells me
that I do like.
Haven't got very,
that I do.
We haven't got very good members in Gamers Galaxy Guild at the moment because I'm winning. So if you want to come and be the leader and the champion of a guild, you can just join my guild and instantly probably be the best damage dealer. But we had this is how I've seen it. Engagement level. You mentioned the engagement. We had 2 guys fully invested in the game. In the Discord chatting and they've both gone AFK. I gave them the rights to be leader, and one hasn't been playing for months, and the other one came back and played for a couple of days and stopped playing again.
Yep.
I'm down to about 15 or 14 members that are playing irregularly, and about 7 or 8 that play every day. From when I first started, where the 7, you could see when people aren't playing, it was like 1 every week that would get to 7 days. That was it, at the most. And now it's down. Now I'm struggling to even fill the guild. And we're 150th in the boss battle, so that tells you we're pretty low down.
Right.
At 20 members per guild, that's that's about 20,000 players. So, it's a shame that. Just all they need to do is make that you can move your character and position them on the map, and it would just change the game intensely. Like, so when Leah, if you're versing a Leah style character, you just spread your heroes out so you don't get destroyed by her, her rain of fire, and heroes that move, throw bombs that move heroes into different positions.
Right.
And then you'd force them to either move so they stop attacking, something like that. Like, just add some strategy to the game. It's not that hard. Take a risk. I hope they're building that on the side secretly, and then in about 6 months' time, they go, here you go. In 2 months, here's an update, version 2 of GOG, and it brings everyone back and shows them how much better the game is. If they do that, that saves the game. If they keep on the same path of this boring purely idle, I'm going to end up quitting myself.
Well, you can see it in the economy too. I mean, I don't even know what it is right now. I'm afraid to look. The last time I looked, the Adventure Guild token, the basic guild token, was going for I want to say $50. I was like, oh wow. My gosh. I mean, my God, that is the epitome of the game, is those guild tokens, and they are down massively. And I'm going to say it right now. I know it can't be about money, but if they don't do something to inject some form of economy life in this, the game's gonna die. The game's gonna die. God knows how much they've invested in this game. It's their number 2 flagship game for Immutable. They desperately want this to work, but there is no economic. Okay, so I don't feel engaged, first of all, and second of all, there's no economic incentive for me to do this. I'm just doing it to do it because I have so many assets in the game right now that I'm gonna lose my ass. I'm just gonna say it for what it is. I'm not sugarcoating it anymore. And that's why I'm doing it, because I'm trying to support the faction of this project to like put some life into it as best as I can, and I want to. But like, they've got to do something to incentivize people to come here and play. If you're not going to do it on the engagement level, you better do it on the economy level. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
This is where we disagree, mate. This is where we disagree, mate. Like, you know, I've said where you think. You know, you've always said the economy can be separate. The only way a game economy works is if you make it engaging. Like, look at Off the Grid. Right. People play the game because they love it, yeah, and they are going to buy skins because they love the game. I spent $1.40 for the first time in GOG. I spent money. I bought $6 million worth of gold yesterday for $1.50 as a special. It was $1 in the US. So, you know, I was like, I'm always running out of gold. I'm like, yeah, that's only $1.50. I'll spend it. But there's no way I'm spending. I think it's like $150 to try and get those 2 heroes that are on screen now.
This is the first time I didn't buy something for them.
Not a chance in hell I'm spending that kind of money on this game. Until you make this game fun for me to play, and like the story's boring. Whoever wrote the stories literally doesn't know how to write a story to save their life. Let's literally look at the IP, and it's just, I don't care. I play games for story, and I couldn't tell you what the story is. I don't care. It's that boring. I listened at the start and go, what's this? So, and it's written not in a fantasy way. It's written as if like a romance novel. Like, it's like the kind of language is used is like a romance novel, not actual fantasy characters.
Yeah, and
like
guys who predominantly play this love romance novels, you know? So you know, and I don't disagree with you. I don't think we're opposite agreement. What I'm saying is, if you're not going to make this game engaging, you better do something with the economy. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I want it to be engaging. But they're not doing it. And I feel
I'm saying you can't do anything with the economy if you don't have a game that people want to play.
I get it.
Like, it doesn't matter what you do. So that's where we're different.
Ronan does it all the time, so it can be done.
Yeah, but like,
I'm not wrong.
You got me there.
Yeah.
But,
so that's what I'm saying. It's like, you're not engaging me. You're not engaging me. So if you're not going to engage me and you're going to give me romance, a fantasy novel, which I'm a guy and I want nothing to do with, fine. Then give me money. Do something. Anything. We need something. Get it engaging or get it a comedy driven. Pick a lane. And I feel sorry for saying this because I know Chris is working his ass off and he's trying as best as he can. And he's actually done more than the previous administration, but it's not engaging. We have to be honest about it going forward. I'm sorry.
Oh, mate, it's boring, to be honest with you. The endless dungeon I'm forced to do because I need to get the money from it for the levels of the heroes, because I still only got 5 heroes at a max. The 6 without spending money. I'm not spending money, mate. You know, like I don't understand this leveling up, leveling down thing. It's just so stupid.
Yeah.
Like, why can't I play the game with my hero that's low level and go through the dungeons again and level them up? That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
And then I want to have all 200 in a little collector's page where I can see what levels they are, how high they are, and how many of them I've got at the certain lowest level. If I get all 200 to level 5, then I get a bonus. You know, like how easy to gamify this game, and there's literally no gamification whatsoever. None other than the monetary side of it. Like, you could make it that you earn more if you have all 200 heroes at a certain level. You get a 1x on a 2x on your learnings if you've got 200 heroes at level 20, and then you get a 2.5x if you've got 200 heroes at level 50, sort of thing. You know what I mean? And keep on going up like that, and then you incentivize everyone to get every hero and to level them all up and to play the game and just have fun.
I agree.
And watch the gamification drive your engagement. Rather, if you've got a boring game, making me do endless dungeon over and over and over and over again for what a couple of, only reason I'm doing it is for for those the currency that buys me the leveling. It's just like, how do you not understand that that's absolutely going to bore people to tears? Like, I don't get it.
So I bought. Let's go ahead.
Anyway, I was just going to say, if that was doing that to level all my heroes up and see them progress, I would be literally playing as much as I could on that, because I want to see my heroes progress. It's just so counterintuitive, or I can't believe it, that they've decided to go this way. It's so obvious that you have to go the other way. I don't know.
Yeah. I
spent a lot of time.
I know. I didn't meant to get into this, but it's truth, and I didn't buy the heroes this time. This is the first time I've never bought the heroes. I bought the hero last time, the healer. I can't even remember the name because I'm just not that engaged. And I spent $200 to get her. I got the, not the mythical, but the step down, was it epic or legendary, whatever it is. I got that chroma, and I spent $200 on it, and it's maybe worth $70. So I've lost money already.
Yeah.
It just, they. GOG, I love you, but man, you gotta do something, man. You gotta do something. All right, we beat this dead horse. Let's keep it going. Game that I wanted to check out a long time ago. It's definitely a social platform like your Among Us or Goose Goose Duck. And it's Web3. I think this game has a lot of potential, and I have not had a chance to play it yet, and I'm kicking myself, so I can't speak really, really intelligently about it. But what I do know is there's a lot of good buzz about this game, and I think it's something that could definitely progress in the Web3 space, and I will be definitely checking out for sure. As it is mobile, and I need mobile, so
yeah. I've got a bit of a news on this one.
Yeah, go for it.
Just while you were delayed today, I thought I found something for myself to do, and thought, what can we do as a guild to help people get gems? And what the problem is with the mystery is that you can log in and have no players on the game and not be able to play and get the gems, or you could log on and there'd be heaps of people if they're doing an event. So at the moment they're struggling to keep a consistent amount of players at all times.
Right.
So on our Discord, we're going to do a 1 hour until invite to mystery 50 gems run. So we'll advertise and we'll just have multiple people manage it and have 1 hour sessions where people can get their gems by joining Gamers Galaxy Discord, keeping an eye on the notifications, get notified that we're going to play in an hour, get ready, log in during that hour. You should get enough people to play the game to earn your 50 gems.
Very nice.
So we're going to do that, a couple of those over the next, keep an eye out, join our Discord and find out.
This game out for sure. It's definitely got some potential. So moving along, Raven Quest, probably the biggest game next to OTG at the moment. Just lots and lots of people playing this, lots of hype around it, and they have not even integrated Web3 yet. Thoughts on this, Rubick? Raven Quest, what's going on with it that you want to talk about?
So we interviewed, not you, you were on a day off that day.
I was fired.
Don't worry, just temporarily, mate.
Right.
I wasn't the one that I was asked to do this interview with our sister guild, CZU.
Mm-hmm.
And in that interview, they released a date of the Halloween special. So the 24th to 28th, you can use the characters that you leveled up for gems. And then after that, 28th, they get wiped for phase 3, which will be starting in early November. And then you'll be able to play again. They're going to stress test. They're going to test some Web3 integration. And then that will be probably for a month or so, or a bit less, or 2-3 weeks. And then in December, they will have the actual, they're aiming for release in December. So very close to having full, lots happening there. It's an amazing game. I played it. I just wish I had more time to play. I lose motivation when I know I can't compete with the top leaderboards. Yep. I play MMOs to win. And if you don't have the time to win, I just lose all interest in it. So, but I will play it on and off as Gamers Galaxy Guild for casuals when we go live. But our serious guild will be CZU Guild, our sister guild. And yeah, join us if you want to be in a hardcore, multiple guilds. There are 2,000 members in their guild Discord. They do play more than Immutable games, but when it's an Immutable game, we have a GGXE collaborative guild with their members.
Awesome. Yeah, and that was Raven Quest, an absolute gem in the Web3 space. Massive game. And next up, we are rolling into the Bornless, a very gritty, kind of dark I don't know. I feel like it's kind of Halloweenish vibe, which is this time of the year. They have a closed alpha coming out on the 26th and the 27th, as it is shown here. And any quick thoughts on this, Rubick?
Yeah, no, just it's looked like it's a Web 2 and a Web 3 game separate. So it'll be Web 2 for a while, I'd say, until they get the Web 3 side of it going.
Yeah, I don't get that, but whatever. To each their own. That's Bornless. Yeah. Not much really else to say about that. Next up, we got Domination. I did not know about this game until you brought this up to me. But yeah, they got a closed beta dates announced, which is the 28th, 29th, and 29th, 30th, and 31st, right around the corner, right around the Halloween. They got the Halloween decor on their hero there. Any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, Domination. I hope that they had a collection about to release on Immutable and it never came out. So who knows what's happening there? Again, is it another one that's announced Immutable? They're not coming. There's been a lot of those lately. But I hope so. It looks really good. It's a battle royale, and yeah, you can play it on the 28th, 31st Halloween. So shoot everyone that likes those cool graphics, the style it is in. I like those kind of graphics. So yeah, get in and play it if you can.
Definitely, it's got the Fortnite style feel to it. Do you disagree?
Yeah, it's like it's modeled from Fortnite. I think it's gonna be mobile as well.
Oh yeah. Let's see what the any partners that stand out. There's Immutable there. Yeah, everybody's with AWS. That doesn't mean anything. There's Mon Protocol. Okay, we've heard of them. So yeah, okay, yeah, Domination. These are the upcoming games for Immutable. And next up, we are switching to Immutable news with Rubick's infamous shorts. What do you got for us, brother?
Bad Mad Robots visited the IMX offices in Sydney. So one of the partner, the hero's partner, got to play it. So we're looking forward to hearing feedback on that shortly. That game looks really good. Gods Unchained sold out all packs. They just don't seem to go away, do they? And Terrace by Battlebound was actually announced by Immutable about 4 or 5 months ago, then deleted real quickly, like the message, and then that obviously was a red flag. I mentioned it, in chats before, but it looked really good, like a creature collector. But they just announced the monad, so there's something went wrong there with that agreement. But yeah, not a lot of news today. It's a quiet news because of all the focus was on that zkEVM going permissionless. So
right.
They didn't have too much, big news about Immutable for once.
Yep. Well, that was usually your shorts are way longer, but you've got some shorts on today, huh? Showing off some extra skin, but no, I'm joking. Yeah. So we're at the portion here where we're going to talk about the Immutable gems. The gem quest is what we're talking about specifically, and we're talking about Blade of God X. They've got to earn 100 gems right now. And we're also talking about Invite to Mystery. There they are there. We kind of showed this earlier, 50 gems. We don't know exactly what these gems are going to do, but they're going to do something. So you can play some games and collect them now. Space Nation, I believe. Oh man, where's it at? I thought you said they had 450 gems or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's the biggest gem program ever. It's 450 gems over 4 weeks, 4 different 4 week. I think you got the first one you got to end of November, I believe, or near the end of November to complete to get to level 10. So I think you won't need to have it complete each week. You can join at any time and get all 4 done. But you won't know the next program until the next week. So every week they come out with a new 100 gems. So yeah, massive.
There it is.
Quest. Yeah. And it's fun game. We've got a guild in Gamers Galaxy, and also but remember Invite to Mystery. We're going to have gamers helping you get the 50 gems there. Blade of God is got another guild. We've got a gamers guild joining there as well. So join us for that guild. And next one, Epic War.
Heroes. Epic War. So I wasn't aware of this. Apparently, there's some controversy going on.
Well, you can get the gem by getting to bronze level 2 and then being allocated the free miner bot. But if you already played it and you're above that, you don't get it. You have to be a new account that gets over it, so you don't get the gems.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, so it's $1 or something like that, $1.40 or something. So I had to buy it to get it. Apparently, if you buy the miner bot for $1.40 and then invoke it, it will give you you'll get the gems and a better anyway. So
Wow.
yeah.
Well, okay.
Epic War has missed out, mate, on the
Web3.
I don't understand what they're doing. Like, why would I buy a loot crate to in crypto to open it, and then the cards you get out of it go Web 2? I don't understand, mate. Like, what? Like, why would I buy it? Why are you Web 3?
Right.
Still Web 2. You know,
Exactly.
like if they released a token, RBAX or whatever it is. I'm not sure how. I'm not buying it. They've already got a token, the Rebel Bots token. So, you know, it's another one. I'm not buying that. Like, if you're not going to make a Web3 game where you own your items, then I'm not buying your token. You know what I mean? Like, it's simple as that. They really got it wrong. Whoever's advising them is advising them very poorly.
Yeah, I've been religiously playing that game because
too.
I've enjoyed it, and it was part of the Immutable ecosystem, so I was expecting to be part of their game with the Immutable ecosystem. But like now they're already penalizing me for being early. That is like the complete opposite of what the Web3 ethos is. You get in early and you get rewarded for doing so, and they're going against the grain of that. Yeah, that oh, you're right. I don't know who's giving advice, but that is absolutely backwards for sure. Yeah, and that's man, I had what's pissing me off. We're gonna roll into that next segment now. Is like that's definitely pissing me off. That's definitely pissing me off. I've been playing that game every single day for months, and there's been several other games that like they're either hiding from Web3 or they're doing things like Epic War is doing against the grain of Web3 and penalizing you for being early. Like that stuff is like 2 to 3 years old news that shouldn't be happening anymore. We should have progressed by now. We should have learned by now. We should be evolving by now. And we still got games doing the same crap from years ago that doesn't work. And like, pick a lane, man. Pick a lane. You're either in Web3 or not. Like this hiding stuff, like just go to Web 2 then. Quit wasting our time. Quit wasting our brain space of like looking at you. Just go to Web 2 and be done with it. But yeah, that's what's pissing me off this week for sure.
Yeah, especially Epic War, where you got to collect thousands and thousands of cards to level it up. You can make the cards you're collecting game Web 2, but the actual final card that you utilize be a web like you know once it's level 15, say, that's an NFT, and you could sell that again, and someone else could get it and use that, and then start leveling that level 15 up from their gameplay. So the cards you get that stack it, you know, say you need 300 of mimics to make it go to level 16. Those aren't NFTs. That's fine, you know. And even if you make the pack if you make the loot crate that you buy, you don't get the NFTs in it. You get the actual level up versions of it. But at least it's helping you level up an NFT. That's what would just change this game around big time for me. You know, yeah. I want to own what I earn when I play games. We say it over and over again. If you can't understand that as a game developer, that the player will be driven by owning the things that they work for in the game without having to pay for it, that is your superpower. Utilize that drive, that gamification, that ability to level up. I just don't understand how you can be making a game and not understand gamification and how the human brain works around wanting to grow and be higher in leaderboards. It's like that's why gamers game. Every single one of them, they want to be higher on the leaderboard. Every single gamer. But you build a game with the crappy leaderboards that aren't really incentives aligned or aren't really what gamers want. It's just, I'm on your side here, mate. That's pissing me off. And also the cost of playing Web3 games, mate. Seriously, man, like it's so expensive. Like Somnus, to buy like one NFT is $10 and you get a random NFT. The 1 month battle pass for both battle passes was over 50 Australian dollars, which is more than an hour's wage. On a like it's double the hourly wage. So 2 hours of work to pay for a month of battle passes, and then the cards are, you know, like to get the special cards that make you win, you got to pay $7 or $8 on the open market because they're so expensive. Mm-hmm. Like that shouldn't be the cost. It shouldn't be $600 in battle passes a year. Like it should be $100. Yeah, like $100 a year to play the game is a fair price. and get all the perks of, and if you did that, heaps more people would pay it. But there are people out there that just, it's the us and them. There's people with lots of money that don't have a kid and a mortgage to pay, that can afford to spend $600 a year on a game. And there's people that, like me, that have got other priorities now that just cannot afford to pay that. But if it was $100 a year, I could pay that. I could justify to my wife saying, look, I play this game a lot. And I do like the game. But it's not just Somnus. That's it. I'm using it as an example because I play Immutable games. They're all like that. Their battle passes in Epic Wars like $10 a month, which is cheaper, but it's not even for NFTs. Like at least with Somnus, you're getting NFTs. You can sell them. And there's other, like, just every game's battle pass is like $20 and $30 a month, and it's just ridiculous.
Yep, I agree.
That's my rant. Too expensive.
Yep, I agree 100%. I'm not going to debate any of that with you. So yeah, that's our pissing us off segment. And yeah, I was inspired when you told me that about Epic Wars. Like, holy smokes, like what the heck. So yeah, moving along, we are going to our non-immutable news, and right off the bat, I'm just laughing at this. Yeah, Ronin failed the mint, apparently. Can you digress on that?
I'm not having a go at Ronin for this. Like, what I'm just saying is that we've been saying it for a long time, that Ronin, everyone's going to Ronin because they see these instant mint outs and these, the support of the players. But we know that there are not that many players there with unlimited funds. And so as soon as there's a number of games building there, they'll start to have failed mints like every other chain. Remember we used to say that? Mm-hmm. And this was the first one. So I think it's game 7 or 8 to mint on them, and they already had it was less than 40% mint out because 1,000 of the 10,000 was given to reserved for the team. So they only sold 4,000 of the 10,000. Wow. So it was a really bad mint for them. And I'm not dancing on the grave. This is going to happen. We said it was going to happen, right. But just the Ronin effect is false. Well, as soon as they had some volume of games, they're going to be exposed to their user base being from non-affluent countries like Venezuela, and where a lot of their players just don't have the funds to spend on any mint that comes up. Like $50-$60 even. So that's what we were waiting. It was inevitable. So yeah. Yep,
that's the kind of inevitable that you don't want to be. Right? You want to be. The immutable isn't inevitable, as we say often. This next one up, I was kind of shocked because this game, when it first came out, when we were checking out and everything, like there's so much potential with this game. It's the graphics, the gameplay, everything involved. There's so much to do in this game, and upgrading it. You need a tutorial just to how to upgrade your character. Blade of God X. I guess they had a horrible mint as well. Can you explain anything about that? I wasn't privy to that.
So this one, you might have seen. I thought you were going to ask me, why have you put this in the non-immutable news when it's a BOG X, which is an immutable game? Right. So you look at their playtest right now. It's play to earn, and there's $200,000 worth of tokens being given out, and 120,000 from Mantle, and 80,000 from Tycho. So in the immutable, all you do is get gems. So they're gone multi-chain,
right?
And you looked at, they minted out on everything when they were just immutable. When everyone thought they were just immutable, they minted out. Mm-hmm. Just the last couple of weeks now, we've known that it's going to be multi-chain because there's no way they're getting given 200,000 by 2 other chains if they're not going to have actual mints on NFTs on their platforms and be multi-chain. Or why would you give 120,000 to someone if they're not building on you? So, and then all of a sudden they have a mint and it fails. And it's not on Immutable. It was on ETH mainnet, I believe. I don't know what chain it was on, to be honest with you. Once the game goes multi-chain, I'm just not interested. I'm not playing your game. I'm not. You're trying to scrape users for cash. That's why I see it.
Right.
And that's why. And they went from 5,000 to reduced to 333, 3,333, and I don't think they minted all those out. So I just think people got to realize that humans are going to learn from, people that are doing things that are obviously just to make money. And multi-chain, the only reason you do it is add that complexity and add that, is for money, either from the grants or from the different user bases trying to, extract as much money as you can. And so there's another example of a multi-chain game not succeeding. succeeded very well when it was single chain, went low key announcement multi-chain, and now it failed. That's the moral of the story, and why it's in non-immutable news, because I don't think BogX will be on immutable.
Yeah, I'm curious. Like, what's the point of you guys even being on immutable anymore? What is the gems going to do for you guys? I mean, I don't get it. I don't
Blaze.
get it.
Heaps of people installed the game on our Discord because of the gems. So the gems are great. They people want it. It's Immutable's gamification. Everyone wants to collecting gems, seeing number go up. That's the example of Immutable doing gamification right. Everyone wants to get the gems.
I get
but
it.
They don't know what they're for. They get angry because they don't know what they're for. But they still want to. They still want to climb the ladder, and just make your games gamified, and you will succeed. Right. That's all you need to do.
Yeah, I don't get what Blade of God is doing here then, though. Just for them, but that's up to them.
They didn't need it. They didn't. That's the stupid thing. Unless they needed the money, they had a big round of funds come in from was 6 million or 8 million or something from heaps of the backers. They had the money. Like, make your game simple. Put the focus on the game, not the chain.
Right.
And just get people to play the game, which actually people love the game. Look at Solomon, he loves it. It's one of his favorite games. Wiven, who's the Pool Masters moderator, he loves it. It's his second favorite game after Pool Masters.
It's a cool game.
I don't like it. It's not my type of game, but I was really expecting something different. But it's like you don't need to scour people through going multi-chain. You don't need to do it. You literally lose by doing it. You end up failing because of it.
Cool. Yeah. Blade of God X. I don't know what they're doing, but that's what's going on with them. So we'll have to see what progresses with them. And we're coming up to our last couple segments here for the week. Highlight of the week. I'm going to start us off. I've been through a lot of turmoil in my life in the last couple of months, and my highlight of the week is I'm starting to knock things out that I need to knock out to progress with my life, and I'm staying on task. I'm starting to get some vision in my life of where I'm going next, and so that's been my highlight of the week. I'm starting to see some very, very, not great, but glimmers of light of path forward. So kudos to me for getting stuff done, getting on track, and just progressing forward. So that is my highlight of the week. How about you?
Well, I don't know if I said this before, but my job, I was in a role that I was very needed and doing a good job and very visible and, adding value to the company. And then I got put onto this other task, which is more fun to me, but without any support, isolated. And I'm a junior to mid-level dev. And so to implement a whole aspect of the code base by myself is just not doable. And I kept on saying to my boss, who's too busy to even have a meeting with me to see how I'm going. He's the CTO. So I report directly to the CTO at a team of 20. And most of them have like 2 or 3 chains before they get to the CTO. So that's my problem. But yeah, I thought I was going to get fired because I was like complaining about not having the resources I needed to get this job done. And the boss, and I literally, honestly, the guy was looking at other jobs and thought, this is it, I'm done. And my boss just went, hey, I got this wrong. I let you out. I isolated you. I didn't give you the support you needed, and it's my bad. And he's just gone out of his way to help me progress by hiring someone that's a senior that's going to one-on-one coach me in the areas I had missing. And so just humanity, mate. Like, he was a really nice guy, and I just had it convinced in my head that he was going to fire me unfairly because of the situation he put me in and the support he wasn't giving me. And he came through and showed that I was right. There are humans in life that care about people still and realize when they make mistakes and support people when they don't need to. He could have quite easily just solved this problem by hiring, getting rid of me and getting someone else in on their own. So. Yeah, I've had a real moment of just humanity still exists in my head, and I've just been happy ever since, because I was going down a path myself of being really stressed because of, young family and, having to have to worry about getting a new form of income, if that happened. So, yeah, interesting time in my life, and yeah, that's a personal one, but it's what a highlight for me this week.
Oh, fantastic! Good news to hear. Good news to hear for sure. Yeah, we talked about this off air before, and super happy for you. And good. Sometimes you got to have that little kick in the butt to get you going in life, and it happens. It happens to everybody. Humans are going to human, is what I say often. Yeah. And speaking of humans, this next guy up, I got to meet him via a Zoom call not too long ago. This is the new head of the growth team at Immutable. He goes by Uli, I think. Is that how it's pronounced? Uli?
Yeah.
Oli, and I got to meet him, and we had a brief conversation. I was basically interviewing to be a hero yet again for Immutable, and I did get accepted. So super appreciative about that, and I'm looking forward to this revamped version of the Heroes Immutable program and see where it goes. It seems like it's going to be more focus fired with less heroes instead of just everybody get in, and us all coordinating together in a laser-like fashion to promote the product. And I like that. And I hope it continues to, because he talked to me about giving us direction. That it was just everybody was just kind of doing their own thing, and we did the best with what we could with what we had. We were just making stuff up as we go, and hopefully we're going to get some better direction of what Immutable is looking for, and maybe if they give us some direction and we can put our talents and tools into place, we can give them more of what they need. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that. My final thought of the week.
Yeah, my final thought is just to join our Discord, get involved with the games, learn about Immutable's ecosystem, and grow with us. We're up to 600 now, and 600 Immutable gamers that love Immutable, game everywhere else as well. But it's just the community for learning about Immutable and what's happening in our ecosystem and in our chain of choice. Join us.
Absolutely, and as always, a special shout out again to Token Trove, our main sponsor. And that is our episode 46. We want to thank you all for tuning in today. I know we went over a lot. As always, Immutable has a lot of stuff to do. And as Rubick said, get into our Discord. There's all kinds of stuff going on. Alpha, contests, events, and just news that you're going to get there first. It matters that you guys are in there. It matters that you participate. And we love all of you that are in there participating with us. Join us on X, also YouTube. We have all our videos up there. And we got a lot more stuff coming. So stay tuned with everything we have going on at Gamers Galaxy. Rubick, you've been a gem as always. And I appreciate you for all the information that you set up for us and everything you do. Everybody take care. We'll see you again. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye now.